going on, everybody? I'm Tony MC, and welcome to the first episode of my new podcast, Tony Stories. Alright, so we gotta run it back. Tony Stories is a blog that I started back in 2015 when I was a rookie journalist, coming up, covering new music, events, you name it, I was covering it. The blog name was inspired by a couple of things, but two main influences had to have been Nori and Meek Mill. Nori's Tony from the CNN days, and the other one was Meek Mill's Tony Stories. Now I'm reviving the name in 2022 and turning it into a whole different platform. I plan to tell stories about various artists, from those who are just getting started to the top of the food chain. So let's get it! My first guest is a rapper named Swindler. Swindler has roots in both New York City and Miami. We get to sit down with him and talk about his new project, Late Night Thoughts, which I thought was pretty dope, and y'all gotta go check it out too. Let's welcome our first guest to the podcast, Swindler.
What's going on, man? How you doing, my boy?
Everything good, man. First of all, how did you even get to the name Swindler? Because I remember when I first saw the name, I was like, damn, that's kind of fly. Cause it's a completely different format, completely different name that I would have never even thought of for just a stage name. So how did you even land on that?
Nah, because you know the word swindle, of course. You know the word swindle, finesse, you get your way out of the situation now. But the crazy part is with that story, me and my mans, I got a party. We was at a party and we been chatting it up with a little shorty, whatever it was. Boom. He was trying to get her snap number, whatever it was, the case may be.
Yeah.
But I had slept over his crib. Yo, I was like, bro, remember shorty you was talking to? I had got her number. Boom. He was like, bro, you think you a swindler? I was like, bro, I've been swindling shit. That's some shit I've been doing. And then from there, bro, it's just been I always been said the word swindle, but swindler kind of made it like a person. You get me? So it makes me swindler. So from there, I just took off with swindler because getting my way, tricking shit around. I just went with that.
That kind of worked out in your favor. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's so rare that you don't see that. Let's start from the beginning, man. First of all, you were born out here, right? Or you were born in Miami?
No, I was born in New York.
Born in New York. Okay,
yeah,
so talk about when you were born in New York, how did you get from going to New York to Miami, back and forth?
So it was fake. So I was born in New York. Personal issue, I was a baby, you feel me? So we moved down early. So I moved down around 3, 4. Fake spent a couple years in Florida. I spent probably 9 years, probably to 13, 14 in Florida. So really have my life in Florida. And from there, I just moved back to New York afterwards, finished school, boom. But really through that time, I was out there in New York. When I was living in Florida, I was out there in New York every weekend. We traveled every weekend, every other weekend. We out there, boom, because I just felt like home, you feel me? But now I've just been either way, I have family over there and I have family in Florida. You get what I'm saying? So either way, I go see family. I got to go see family, different sides of family, boom. So there you just end up just being between both.
You said basically you were growing up between us. So where did you graduate high school at? You graduate high school in New York?
And I graduated high school in New York. I attended 2 colleges in New York. And I also I went to school in Ohio too. Fake crazy. Nigga moved around.
That's crazy. So now you're in college now and you're going to all these schools. So talk about how you got into football then.
Nah, I played football when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on some shit nigga was fat, so niggas had me playing D lineman. I wasn't really touching the ball and shit like that.
Okay.
So I wasn't really playing football for a couple of years. I was running track and playing basketball. Boom. Okay. It got to be my senior year of high school. For some reason it hit me like this. It hit me on some, bro. I want to tell my kids I play football in high school type shit. That's really one of the. That's that's what I told myself. You feel me? Also, shit. I play football in high school type shit. It was my senior year. Boom. Niggas put me at. I started at receiver. They put me at. I switched over to running back. Going crazy. You feel me? Was going dumb. Was fucking with it. But still, boom. I got a track scholarship, so I didn't continue my football career. Cause I got a scholarship for track. So from there, it's been over for football, but it's still love for football, everything, of course.
From there, you went on to, doing other things. You eventually ditched that, you know what I mean? And then you got into your music career. So talk about what was that moment where you were like, nah, this is what I got to do. When you decided that hip hop was your lane, that was what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's been a thing when you're alone, you tend to just you don't really talk to nobody. So I've always been the type of person where I can express myself very well. whether it's just a communication, whether it's argument, whether it's just talking with my mans, whatever it is, case may be. So I just I started off as a producer. I wanted to make beats. Boom. I was making
What year
beats.
was that?
That was back in like 2018.
Okay.
Like in 2018, I wanted to make beats at those studios. Boom. It's kind of a little too technical. It was a little technical. You got to really put your time into boom. But at the beats I was making, the little beats I started off making, more my stuff I was going through, I was like, I don't talk to nobody. The beat don't judge you. You get what I'm saying? So like everything that I felt, all my emotions, I just talked it out onto a beat. And from there, it was like a kind of like a weight lift. You feel me? I got to like get stuff off my chest whether I ain't say it to a person. The beat was gonna listen to me. You feel me? So from there, I just kept going with it.
That's deep. That's deep, man. Fast forward a little bit now. It's 2019, and you know you've got a lot of things going for you, but you got a clothing line too. Like you got clothing, fashion inspirations. So how did that come into the mix? Like I feel like that was kind of random.
I think always been into clothes, but I came in with I say sheesh a lot. Like that was some stuff. Like I always wanted to make my own clothing. I always wanted to be a businessman. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to be a businessman. So I say sheesh a lot. That's something I use to like my day-to-day was like, oh, shorty over there, sheesh look good. Or oh yeah, that shit like feel me. So boom, I was like, nah, let me just throw it on a hoodie, throw it on a shirt, boom, because it's gonna catch you. Cause other people say sheesh in the world too as well. So I be walking around here, people say sheesh. I'm like, yo, you say sheesh? Yeah, come fuck with my merch because you're gonna wear that shit on your shirt. You feel me? But that shit, that's how I came about it though.
Obviously, you dropped your first mixtape, Swindlaaa, NYC to MIA. Pretty self-explanatory, it was based on just where you coming from, your roots. I listened to the tape and I was kind of impressed on how many different levels there was to it. You know what I mean? Talk about that, like how it was made, like what was your process? When did you start on it, all that?
No, my process was crazy. I didn't really have like a process. So like when I record, it's really just like how the beat makes me feel for real. So it's like I don't have like one type of cadence. Like some rappers have like a specific sound, or you just know how that rapper sounds when you don't got to see the face. I don't really have that. I just like how I feel, just how it's gonna come out. And I feel like that's what kind of makes me different. And then from that album, from my mixtape, it's like my beginning phases. That's where you're learning about me. That's why I named it Swindler. I was gonna name it Who is Swindler? But I changed it just to name it as Swindler, just to have my name, so you could like people see Swindler, that's his name, and you see me out from New York, I'm from Miami, boom. So that's really how I just came up with that. But there was really no process into like making it. Just the songs that I've made, I just happened to just like throw into the
yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it was all over the place, but you definitely had a lot of there was a lot of like records with a little slower build up. And you had like the faster paced records, and then you got the club records, the club little hits for the ladies or whatnot. I feel like it was definitely like, for obviously your first body of work, what I mean, it was pretty decent. What would you say would be like the most like difficult record that you had trouble with like putting together on that project?
Most difficult record,
like the one that gave you like the most like, damn, like I don't know if this is right, or the most like type of issues and stuff like that.
Damn, I'd probably say Can't Trust. My song Can't Trust. Yeah, because when I got that beat from Hard Body, I couldn't rap. Like that, the beat was like, the beat would have me froze. I was like, it took me, and I honestly, with that song, I say it took me like a good 3 weeks to even get like a line. Cause like I wanted to come on it, I just couldn't do it. It just wasn't gonna sound right to me for real. But I think that was a song that just had me like, that was one of my hardest songs to record. I still remember that actually.
Man, that's crazy. And then you got a couple of collaborations on there, Trapland Pat, obviously. Cool. Talk about how you built that relationship with him. Did you guys meet beforehand, in your travels from Miami to New York?
No, it wasn't quite like, we didn't really meet. We met through my manager. We had linked up in the studio, boom. Created a little vibe. I already had the song recorded. I already had the song done, pre-made, so I had to go to the studio and record it. Told him pulled up. He linked it with me, created a vibe, chill. Matt, he recorded his verse. Shit was hard. From there, just went done. Did the video probably a couple months after, and boom.
You've got a couple of records yourself that you came out with. Moving Fast is obviously one of the
standouts for sure. That record is definitely interesting because I heard it and I was like, damn, is that really his mom's, or like is that just like what she said? Because I from what I understand, like she did not support your transfer, switching careers and all that.
Yeah. Nah, that was, I remember when I made that song. I made that song after I had just got kicked out of school. So they told me, I think it was great. It was
Okay.
great. They told me I came down. I was going to school. I went to school, Staten Island, boom. Right. I had down in Florida for the break. I had got an email that said, yo, you can't come back, do the boom, boom, boom. Oh, boom, that's kind of crazy.
Back. Damn.
I'm telling me, you telling me I can't come back to school, boom. So now that's my home for me, because that's all my friends is at. That's where all my mans are. Boom. So now I gotta explain this to my family, like, yo, I can't go back to school, and I'm not really trying to enroll in other schools. Like, if I can't go back, I'm fake done. I mean, I got kicked out. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't really agreeing with that. So it's kind of differences going back and forth. So from there, I was kind of I heard that beat. And I just went. Just how I was feeling. That's how I was feeling at that moment in time. Everything that was going on, couldn't see nobody. I was alone. Everybody I know in a different state. Me and my family not really fucking with each other right now. So I just boom, just do that song together. And that was just,
I saw I think it was the video too. Was that something that you shot yourself? Because it was just the angles and stuff like that.
Yeah, the video was shot. We shot it. So yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. And the effects were crazy. I was like, oh, it's dope. But I wonder,
shot that video.
That's cool. That's dope. How did you come up with the concept for that?
The concept for the video?
Yeah.
I didn't want nothing that was too extra, because it was something that's kind of deep. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want all that it's extra because it has a lot of effects, but it has meaningful effects that that explains kind of what's going on. You see me playing football, you see where I'm from in the background, shit like that. So I kind of wanted to keep it kind of to what the song has to be, just not all over the place and not too going crazy, trying to understand my life as well, with not just the lyrics, but kind of watching the video, getting a little grasp of what's going on.
With everything else you got coming up, you got a new mixtape coming up. Is it a mixtape or is it an album?
It's a mixtape.
It's a mixtape. All right, cool. Yeah, so new mixtape coming up, Late Night Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from? Is it more of you just expressing yourself about what's going on, or where did that come from?
It's the name came from really that. I made all the songs that I record really going on 3-4 in the morning. So it's really late night thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm laying down, I'm in my bed, I'm in my room, whatever. I got a little thought. Let me go put it on the mic. Let me go turn on the mic. Boom. I got a little studio set up. Yeah. So that's how I came up with the late night thoughts, because all my songs are really late night thoughts, and I record them late night.
The first couple of singles you dropped already, you had Price on My Head. Talk about that record.
Price on My Head really just going over obstacles in life that you gotta go around. So it's everybody has their own type of experience, their own situation that they're going through. But everybody in life has situations for me. So that song just I explain my situation, just how I'm trying to swim out the bottom. I'm not sure if you heard the song or not, but how I'm trying to swim out the bottom, how I'm trying to fight around those obstacles, come around. And that's really how I just came up with that fact. So I just put I try to make my music to where it's my truth, but also people can relate as well. So I want to make sure somebody can relate. I want to make sure people understand what I'm saying, what I'm going through as well. And that's how I just came up with that. Is just swimming out the bottom, trying to make a way, fighting those obstacles, them demons that are trying to stop you. Try to get to the top, man. It's the only way.
Where do you get your inspiration as far as the the subject matter of your records?
My inspiration, bro, really, I say is myself, bro. There's really no inspiration I have to as far as an idol or anything like that. Not really, but just
I mean, and I'm not even talking about just anybody in particular, but what events or maybe what goes on in your life that that inspires you to put it into music, you know what I mean?
Oh, just life situations, whether it could be you falling out with your man, somebody passing away, you losing a family member, regular fuck around your car break, regular just life situation that you're going through that everybody goes through, but situations just daily life situations, even not daily, the situation that you had to overcome that you either held in for so long, and I just put it on a beat.
Who would you say is like, like your team right now? Because like, I know that a lot of it is you for sure. But like, who do you feel like is around you that helps helps you push your career further? Like, I know you got Diana as like your manager, but like, is there anybody else that like you want to like really acknowledge that like has been a big help like in your career so far?
My manager, for real. Manager.
Shout out to
My
Diana.
manager, you feel me? My manager, big help for real. And I also say Jolo.
Jolo, okay. Shot by Jolo, the videographer. Okay.
Nah, because he supports everything I do. He keeps it 100 with me. He tells me exactly what I need to know, how to in and out to the game, whatever. So I fuck with Jolo.
What about like dream collaboration? So what I'm seeing is that you definitely got a couple of collaborations on your like past projects and stuff like that. But like, who are you looking to work with in the future?
No, if I want to work with somebody, I'd work with Young Ka. I know you know Young Ka.
Mm-hmm.
Young Ka, Stunner. I like Pootie. I like Glock. Yak. That's pretty much it.
That's a dream team right there.
I like J.I. Little TJ.
J.I. is dope.
I like dope. I'll take a feature for that.
What do you feel about like the drill scene in New York going on right now? I know that your past project didn't have anything like that. Is that something like that you kind of like maybe thinking about getting into, or is it something that like this is not my style? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Now I tune in with as far as making the drill music, that's not really like my cup of tea right there. Okay. But as far as like listening, the drill music is hard, and there's definitely a big wave in New York that's going on. That's going crazy right now. As far as like the whole New York music overall, it's always been like Jada, 50. Yeah. It's always been like, you can throw that on right now. We going crazy because that's just home. Jay, it's home. That's just how it is for real. So exactly. I'm tuned in with the up north vibe because that's just home.
That's what's up. And then, obviously, coming down to Miami, it's like a completely different vibe. You know what I mean? Definitely different artists. So who would you say of, those artists in Miami, like that you rock out to or that you were listening to on like coming up?
Coming up, Yak. Okay. That's one of the big
hands down. Got you.
Yak. From Florida, we was listening to Yak. Tuned in with Major 9. I'm not sure you know Major 9.
I know about Major 9 for sure. Yeah.
Going dummy back when he was in high school.
Yeah.
In middle school going dumb.
Okay.
Little Dread in them.
Little Dread.
Yeah. That's pretty much what you're into.
That's dope. That's why I asked, because like I said, you're from a different generation, and from my generation, I instantly refer to like the Tricks, the Trinas, the Flow Riders and all that. Like I said, different generations. So
Plies is dope too.
Plies, what I mean, Ace Hood, all them. So those are my go-tos. But like that's why it's interesting to hear what like the younger cats be talking about as far as like the different artists out here, especially in Miami, because when a lot of the times when they mention the newer artists now, it's not just the artists that are that are played on the radio or whatever. Like it's real street music. It's good to hear that, you know what I mean? Because there's definitely like completely different like ends of the spectrum right now, as far as like music in Miami. And, it's cool to hear that you're in tune with that, while still being in tune with the legends in New York. What would you say as far as like for your fans and stuff like that? What's like some words of advice that you give them that you've, obtained so far in your career? Like what's something that you can offer back to them?
My word of advice, not even just like my fans, just even to the world, is really like when you don't care enough, you realize like life becomes a little bit more better. When you care about everything too much, you realize that you're not really as happy. You're kind of stressing more. You gotta learn to let stuff that's not in your control kind of just let it go and just like focus on what you got to focus on, and you're gonna be able to get to what you got to do. And then don't let nobody tell you what you cannot do, because it's your dreams, it's your road. So you got to go ahead and fly high, because ain't nobody stop you for real.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? As either an artist or even, with your fashion line, you know what I mean? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I definitely see me like having a couple couple more businesses, couple more clothing lines, couple more more businesses open. I definitely see me touring. I definitely see me out there exploring the world, doing what I got to do, seeing fans across the country. I definitely got, in 5 years, I definitely have a plan I already made it in 5 years. I definitely expect to be made already in 5 years. And that's kind of hot for me, expecting less than 5 years, honestly. But by 5 years, I'm expecting to be where I should be in life, honestly.
That's dope. Do you have any aspirations to stay independent, or are you gonna, eventually sign on down the line?
At the moment, I'm really tuning in with independent right now. But you see how life works and how shit be going. Situations may boom, but for the most part, in my mind, independent is really like where I'm kind of stuck out right now, because it seems like the route for real. He's going through it.
You've got the mixtape, but after that, like, what are your plans to close out for the year?
The clubs, I got the mixtape, and then just hopefully drop a couple more videos. After the mixtape, I got a couple more videos coming out.
Okay.
Working on my next mixtape for next year. I already got some songs tuned in, ready to lock in for that.
Okay.
Before that, for the rest of the year, after the mixtape, I'm gonna let that marinate a little bit, sit in, let that tune, let everybody kicking with that, listen to the vibe, understand the late night thoughts. Hopefully people, gonna relate, understand the story that I'm putting out there for them. And that's pretty much, yeah.
Was there anything else you want to tell your fans, about your story that you want them to know?
Well, I always want my fans to know that just to stay true to yourself, really, and just stay true to what you believe in. Stay true to what you believe in, for real. Just keep going what you want to do and keep focusing on your dreams. That's just what I would say about it.
All right, bet. Well, I appreciate you joining us today. If you have any other social accounts or anything like that, social media, just shout it out, let them know.
No. You could definitely tune in on all platforms as Swindlaaa. You got to spell it on Apple Music is with a money sign, but other platforms they don't let you spell it out with the money sign, so you got to use the S. But it's SWINDLAAA with 3 A's. So just stay tuned in with that. But on all platforms, it's gonna be the same name. You can always tune in: YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, Prime, whatever. All that shit you're gonna see me on. So say Swindlaaa, and you're gonna see exactly what's going on.
And that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of Tony Stories. Make sure y'all go follow Swindlaaa and check out his new project right now, Late Night Thoughts. And of course, while you're at it, follow me @_TonyMC across all social platforms. And before you go, you gotta do one thing. Go ahead down here. Yeah, you see that bar right there. Like and subscribe to my page right now and stay in contact with all of the different updates and of course, new episodes in the future. I'm Tony MC. Peace.